Welcome 360 in the Kitchen Foodies. Chef Steve here, and today we're going to make roasted vegetables. Roasted vegetables give a lot of flavor to the vegetable. It softens the vegetable so it's not like eating a raw vegetable. I know a lot of you don't like to eat your vegetables. This may be a way to change your mind about that. So the vegetables we're going to do today in our recipe is going to be butternut squash, sweet potatoes, beets, mushrooms, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, cauliflower, red and yellow bell peppers, red and yellow zucchini, and onions. One thing that I like to do is at the end of roasting all my vegetables, I like to flavor them in different ways. So today I'm going to drizzle them with honey and toss them with sliced almonds. So step one in our recipe is I'm going to use the two most dense vegetables that we're cooking today. That's the carrots and the Brussels sprouts. As you can see, they're all cut to be about the same size, so they're going to roast evenly, and that's very important. So first thing we're going to do is put our carrots in the bowl here. I'm not going to use all the Brussels sprouts, but we're going to use a lot of them. Now, I bought these Brussels sprouts whole, and then I cut them in half. The next step is we're going to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on them. Of course, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of sea salt. Now there's 9 other vegetables we're going to use, so you don't want to over season these. You just want enough to season them so you have enough seasoning on all of them. And we're going to toss them. Then I have our baking dish here, our sheet pan. I'm just going to spread them out on here like this. And one thing you want to do is you want to make sure they're spread evenly. They're not stacked on top of each other. Now I preheated my oven to 425 degrees. These will take about 15 minutes to start. Then I'm going to add the other vegetables. What you want to do is you want to roast your vegetables on the medium middle rack. You will notice here on my oven I have these oven guards here. They're made of silicone and I can't burn myself. Now keep in mind the metal is 425 degrees, but see I can touch this and not burn myself. So these are really good to keep from burning your forearms or your fingers when you're entering things in and out of the oven. And just slide it in. Close it up. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to go prepare the rest of the vegetables. So our next vegetables we're going to roast today is the cauliflower and the broccoli, because these are the next in density. One thing I did is you can see there's a lot of chopping done here, but what I did is I brought the broccoli and cauliflower in florets already chopped at this grocery store. It makes it really easy for me. Then just like we did with the carrots and the Brussels sprouts, we're going to drizzle with olive oil. I'm going to toss these in the oil here so they get coated. We're going to add some pepper here. Sea salt again, but not much, just a pinch. So now it's time to take the Brussels sprouts and carrots out of the oven, and we're going to add the broccoli and the cauliflower next. And then we're going to wait another 10 minutes and let that roast, and then we're going to add all the rest of the vegetables for the final 10 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to mix all the other vegetables together except for the mushrooms. Those will be last. And then we'll put them back in the oven and let them finish roasting. Putting the onions in now. Notice I did big square pieces of onions here. Now we're going to put the peppers, red and yellow. Same idea with the size so they all roast evenly. Next we're going to add the butternut squash, which I've cubed here. The next one of my favorites is sweet potatoes, which have been peeled and cubed. Then finally I'm going to add some beets that have already been steamed. We're going to add our little bit of olive oil again. Then season with pepper and salt again, not too much. And we're going to mix this all together. Make sure all the vegetables get coated. I love the colors. It's like eating the rainbow here. Okay, now we're going to take the veggies out and add the rest of the vegetables into them. Okay, now here come the rest of the vegetables. I love the colors. You guys know I talk about eating the rainbow. Well, here it is on a plate. Then I'm going to spread them all out so it's evenly one layer. Now we're going to put these back in for another 15 minutes. So the last vegetable we're going to add is the mushrooms, because they're the most delicate of all the vegetables. You don't want to overcook them. Again, drizzle a little bit of olive oil, some pepper, sea salt, just a pinch. We toss them up here, get them coated with the olive oil. We're just going to throw them on top of our vegetables. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir the vegetables up in the sheet pan that I have here. Now one final ingredient, one of my favorites, is garlic. So I have chopped garlic here. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it over the top. The reason I'm adding the garlic last is because the garlic will cook very quickly. We don't want burnt garlic. Okay, now we're going to put these in the oven. And then we'll wait 15 minutes. So now with roasted vegetables, there's many uses with roasted vegetables. This particular recipe, what I'm going to do is we're going to use these as a side dish, warm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of honey. I'm going to use my honey spatula here. Dip it in. I'm just going to slowly drizzle it on top, let it just unwind. You don't want to do too much, this just adds a little bit of flavor. So now we're going to add a little bit of dried tarragon, just for a little bit of herb flavor here. Then we're going to add a little bit of crunch, which will be the slivered almonds. Again, you can use pistachios, crushed walnuts, crushed peanuts, whatever you want. Then I'm going to take my spatula, I'm going to kind of stir it all together here. Perfectly done. So one last addition we're going to do is I'm going to top it with feta cheese, just to give it a little bit of a sharp taste when you eat it. Just going to sprinkle it on top. And there we have it, the perfect roasted vegetables. Well, 360 foodies, I hope you enjoyed this recipe today. And remember, you can use this recipe in many, many different applications. Thank you for joining me today. Until our next cooking adventure, eat to thrive.